Welcome to 5-Minute Bedtime Stories. Thanks for joining us to listen to this magical story. Before we begin, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a new story. Let's lie back, relax, and get comfortable. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled at the edge of a dense forest, lived a young girl named Ella. Ella, or Cinderella as the villagers had nicknamed her due to the ashes and cinders that often adorned her face and clothes, was a gentle soul with a heart as pure as the crystal-clear springs that flowed nearby. Ella's life had taken a somber turn when her beloved mother passed away, leaving her in the care of her father. However, fate proved unkind once again, as her father remarried a woman with 2 daughters of her own, who were as cruel and heartless as Ella was kind. The new stepmother, Lady Tremaine, quickly favored her own daughters, Anastasia and Rosella, over the gentle Ella. Ella's days were now filled with endless chores, from dawn until dusk, as she toiled away to satisfy the demands of her stepmother and stepsisters. Despite the hardships, Ella never harbored bitterness in her heart. She found solace in the company of the forest creatures that surrounded her tiny home. Birds would perch on her shoulders, and rabbits would hop around her, as if drawn by the kindness that radiated from her soul. One day, the kingdom received news of a grand royal ball to celebrate the prince's search for a bride. Invitations were sent far and wide, reaching even the humble abode of Ella's family. Excitement filled the air as Lady Tremaine and her daughters prepared for the grand event, selecting lavish gowns and exquisite accessories. Ella, though relegated to the shadows, couldn't help but dream of attending the ball herself. The prospect of dancing beneath the shimmering chandeliers and catching a glimpse of the charming prince stirred a longing in her heart. However, her dreams were swiftly crushed when Lady Tremaine informed her that she would remain at home, confined to the drudgery of her daily chores. As the evening of the ball approached, a melancholy settled over Ella. The world outside her small cottage buzzed with anticipation, but she found herself alone in the darkness. Her tears fell like silent raindrops, washing away the ash on her face and revealing the radiance hidden beneath. Unbeknownst to Cinderella, magic lingered in the air that fateful night. The kind-hearted fairy godmother, who had been watching over her from afar, decided it was time to intervene. With a wave of her wand, Ella's tattered rags transformed into a breathtaking gown, shimmering like moonlight. Delicate glass slippers adorned her feet, and a pumpkin magically turned into a magnificent carriage. "Go, my dear," the fairy godmother exclaimed, "but remember, the magic will last only until midnight." Cinderella, astounded by the enchantment bestowed upon her, stepped into the carriage and was whisked away to the royal ball. As she entered the grand hall, a hush fell over the crowd. The prince, captivated by her grace and beauty, approached with a smile that reached his kind eyes. For the remainder of the evening, Cinderella danced with the prince, the world around them fading into the background. The enchanting music echoed in their hearts, and the sparkling chandeliers reflected the twinkle in Cinderella's eyes. In that moment, she felt like the princess she was meant to be. As the clock struck midnight, Cinderella's heart sank, and she knew she had to leave before the magic unraveled. With a swift goodbye, she fled from the palace, leaving behind a single glass slipper on the grand staircase. Back in her tattered clothes, Ella returned to her humble life, cherishing the magical memory of the ball. Meanwhile, the prince, determined to find the mysterious maiden, sent his servants across the kingdom with the glass slipper as the only clue. The search eventually led them to Ella's village, and Lady Tremaine seized the opportunity to enhance her daughter's chances of becoming the prince's bride. However, neither Anastasia nor Rosella could fit into the delicate slipper. As they despaired, Cinderella, who had been hidden away, emerged from the shadows. With a mix of skepticism and hope, the prince watched as Cinderella delicately slipped her foot into the glass slipper. To everyone's amazement, it fit perfectly, like a puzzle piece falling into place. The prince, recognizing the kindred spirit he had danced with at the ball, embraced Cinderella. In that moment, Cinderella's life transformed once again. The prince, captivated not only by her external beauty but by the purity of her heart, chose her as his bride. Lady Tremaine and her daughters, realizing their schemes had failed, slinked away, their wickedness no match for true love. Cinderella and the prince were married in a grand ceremony that echoed with joy throughout the kingdom. Ella's days of toil and hardship were replaced with a life of love, kindness, and prosperity. As she looked into the eyes of her beloved prince, Cinderella knew that the magic of the ball had been only the beginning of her happily ever after. The village, once witness to Cinderella's suffering, now celebrated her triumph over adversity. The forest creatures that had befriended her rejoiced, filling the air with the melodies of happiness. Ella, now a princess, never forgot the lessons she learned during her days of hardship, lessons of kindness, resilience, and the enduring power of a pure heart. And so, Cinderella's story became a timeless tale, whispered from one generation to the next. The small village at the edge of the forest became a symbol of hope, reminding everyone that even in the face of cruelty and despair, kindness and goodness could triumph, turning ashes into a radiant, everlasting glow. Thank you for listening to our story. Remember to like and subscribe so you never miss another upload.